Shih-Ching, Tsou. Thank you guys so much. Shih-Ching, I know you've been thinking about this film and this story for a long time, so I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about the origins of it.
Okay, so this is in the first. It actually started from a piece of memory from high school. My grandfather saw me use the knife with my left hand, and he told me left hand is devil's hand, and he said do not use left hand. So that's, I remember that for a long time, because at the time I was already got corrected. I was corrected in like kindergarten. So I think when he said that to me, I kind of realized, oh my God, I might be left-handed, and I got corrected. So when I came to New York to a new school for my master's degree in media studies, I ran into Sean in editing class. So we bonded through liking same type of movies, like war cinema, Asian cinema, and also we watched all the Dogma 95 films together at the time. And and we thought we wanted to make a movie just like Dogma 95 movie, just focus on story. So at the time I told him about that piece of memory. So he thought, well, that sounds like a magical idea. We should try to turn into a movie script. So in 2001, I took him back to Taiwan with me, and I wanted to show him the Taiwan, everything about Taiwan, the night market, the beetle stand, everything. So, but at the time we couldn't really find funding because this movie is so big, it has so many characters with multiple locations. So we came back to New York. We made Takeout instead in 2003. Yeah. In that film, just two of us, we spent $3,000 in making a feature film. So that was very early on, 2008. We finally brought the movie to the theater, and we thought maybe this is time we can go back to Taiwan to make Laughing Girl. So 2010, we went back again to Taiwan, and then we actually stayed there for a month, and we wrote the script. And also, like every night, we'll go to different night markets, trying to find a perfect one to shoot. So we went to this the one we just shot in the film. We ran into this little girl who was 5 years old, and she was running around just like Yi-Jing, by herself. So we were so amazed by this little girl, and we followed her back to her mother's noodle stand. And then my make friend was the mother, so I talked to them, and we also followed this little girl. We shot a trailer with her. So with this trailer, we also went to two different film markets to find funding. We couldn't find anything because at the time Asian cinema wasn't really on the stage, and people didn't like to watch movies with subtitles. So we couldn't find money, and so I just continued work with Sean. We did other movies together, like Starlet, Tangerine, Florida Project, and Red Rocket. So at Red Rocket 2021, we went back to Cannes, and we ran into one of our investors who really liked the script. So that's how we made the film.
Yeah, that's amazing. Sean, I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about, obviously Shih-Ching, you just sort of started, but like how your collaboration has evolved over the years from Takeout to now, and sort of why you both clicked as filmmakers together.
Yeah, sure. Hello, everybody. Thanks for coming out. We're, as Shih-Ching just said, like, not an ideal timeline, but an ideal outcome, because we knew we would eventually get to this film one day. Yeah. And Takeout, the film that Shih-Ching mentioned that we shot in 2003 and it came out in 2004, that was really the film that was our film school. I had gone to NYU Film School, but that would be having to make, and obviously Shih-Ching went to the New School for Media Studies, so we studied film, but it was really making that film that taught us everything that has led to everything else, and including this movie. The fact that we had to shoot clandestinely in a working restaurant on the Upper West Side, in which we were making sort of a hybrid film, taking real actors and a narrative fiction plot and throwing it in the real world and having our actors interact with real people. It taught us so much. And I think that every film after that continued to teach us lessons. I think Tangerine was obviously a big deal for us because that was a film we shot on the iPhone as well. This was shot on the iPhone, not sure if you guys know. But yes, that was the film that said we could do it, you know? And I think that, and Shih-Ching saw that and knew that that was the perfect medium to take into the night markets, in which Shih-Ching did not want to control the night market at all. We didn't want to shut anything down. She wanted to work within that live environment in which there was, you had to rely sometimes on serendipity and happy accidents. And obviously you see she got a lot of them. Wonderful. Yeah, so anyway, it's just been a really great, and I should mention, on all of my films that I've directed, and Shih-Ching has produced, my films are so small that everybody's wearing so many hats. And so over the course of those 5 films, Shih-Ching not only was the producer, but also costume design, script supervision, location scouting, casting, and actor as well. I don't know if you know, but Shih-Ching was the donut shop owner in both Tangerine and Red Rocket, right? So it's really been that sort of wonderful working relationship in which we've always had to take on understand every department and everything. So I think all that has led to Shih-Ching being able to make this film with such a command of her craft, and I'm just so impressed and so happy.
Shih-Ching, I was wondering if you could you mentioned the idea of casting, and this is a remarkable cast, and I wanted to ask about how you sort of constructed this family, how you found this family, especially how you cast Nina, who is so adorable as Shih-Ching.
Well, I found the little girl Nina and play Jing. She actually came from a recommendation, and I tried to street casting for this role. So I went through like 3 rounds of social media casting. I watched 50 to 70 audition tapes. But in the end, she got recommended by an agent in Taiwan because she was actually a little commercial star at the time. So when you turn on TV, I remember at the time when I turned on TV, you'll see her every 3 minutes, in like every other commercial because she's so cute and she got cast in almost every commercial. So when I saw, finally met her and I saw her audition tape, she delivered very, very natural performance. Just, and it was really amazing to have her on the cast, especially she had her mother, she also her acting coach. When I first cast her, her mother said, "You don't have to worry about hire an acting coach because I'm the perfect one." And then so she will she'll help and then prepare her, help her memorize the lines and help her understand the story. And then when she came to set, she was always perfect, ready. And then she's so professional because she already had the acting commercial experience for 3 years. And she started acting in commercial when she was 3. And when I cast her, she was 6. So she was like perfect professional actor. And the oldest,
Incredible. She can cry on cue. Those aren't digital tears. With the cleaver, that is just perfectly timed. Wow. As an editor, I was sitting there watching, going, "Oh my God!" Like every take, she's hitting it perfectly. Incredible.
Yeah. And then the older sister, I actually found her on Instagram.
Oh wow.
Because I live in New York, so I couldn't spend a long time in Taiwan to do street casting. So I thought everybody's on IG, so I might just get onto the Instagram and look. So I was looking for like Taiwanese girl or Taiwanese model, and I just kind of, scrolling through the profile every night until my husband asked me, like, "What are you doing?" Every night on Instagram, I'm looking for Taiwanese girls. And when I found her, she just looked like the role that in my mind for like 10 years. So I saw her photo, and I knew she's the one.
She's such a find. Such a find. And she's won. Yeah, she's won Best Newcomer, Up and Comer, in Festival and Best Actress at Stockholm Film Festival. Incredible.
I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about sort of how, just when you were working on the screenplay, how you thought about and why you wanted to portray sort of these three distinct generations of women and sort of their interactions, and how did you think about this sort of family unit in the context of writing the film?
Well, I think a lot of the story is based on my experience. Maybe not exactly the same, but based on a lot of people I know in my life, growing up in Taiwan. So especially when we ran into that family with that little girl, the mother is actually a single mother with 2 kids. And I see how, I follow her over this 10 years, we haven't been able to shoot a film, but I follow her, every time I go back to Taiwan, I'll talk to her. And a lot of things she told me, it's a lot of struggles. Even her family has this very famous noodle stand in the night market, making a lot of money, but because she's a girl, she's a daughter, so she didn't get anything. She just making hourly pay from her brother. So that's part of the inspiration. A lot of hard life, a lot of women going through the same kind of struggle. So I wanted to put it into the film and kind of just tell them the story that I see and I heard.
Yeah, and we, this initial idea came from the anecdote that Shih-Ching said about the memory she had of her grandfather reprimanding her for the left hand, and then it started to grow with everything that Shih-Ching started to introduce me to. When I went to Taiwan, I fell in love with Taipei. We fell in love with the night markets. We said it has to take place in the night markets, with the night market being a character. Then it started just layering on top of that, and we realized we had to explain who she was and why there was a single mom. And that's when we always like to, when we're writing our screenplays, we always have to figure out the end. Yeah. And so we knew we were getting to that twist and that reveal. And so then it was just about building everything around that.
Yeah, and the ending is actually inspired by Mike Lee's Secrets in Life. Yeah. Because at the time
very inspirational.
Yeah, when we wrote the script, we actually I remember Sean said, we had to put this ending just like that. This is so good.
So you found I did want to ask before, we're going to go to audience questions really, really quickly, but I did want to ask about the meerkat. Tell us a little bit about sort of working with a meerkat.
Well, the meerkat is actually the only character that changed from the original script, because in the original script it was a monkey. Because I have a pet monkey when I grew up, and I wanted to memorize the monkey. In the pre-production in Taiwan, I realized we cannot use monkey because they have very strict rules, like the law for using monkey in a movie or film, so movie or TV. So we just couldn't get the paperwork, going through that fast. And at the time, it was still pandemic. Yeah. So if we really need to want to use the monkey, we had to probably import from Thailand, and it was with the trainer. And then you have to do 21-day quarantine in Taiwan. So I cannot imagine a monkey and the trainer.
But she called me from Taiwan saying we don't have Gugu, we don't have the monkey. And I was like, no, I've been living with that monkey for 20 years in my head. And she goes, no, don't worry, it's a meerkat. Ooh, yeah. Good solve there. And his name is Pepper, and he's doing great, and he's actually in Taiwan touring sometimes.
He didn't jump out a window.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, right there.
What were the challenges of shooting in the night market? Because I imagine, I've been to Taiwan and Taipei, so I know how crowded it gets and how difficult it gets to wend your way through certain parts. And I just thought now you tell me it was shot on the iPhone and all this and that, was there difficulties getting people to cooperate? Were there difficulties in getting everybody to sign releases and all this and that and explaining what you were doing?
Well, actually, the first day, because I knew we have to shoot on a real location, so intentionally I made the team, the crew is around 20 people, and that's really tiny compared to all the independent films in Taiwan. So I thought 20 people should be okay, and then the first day we set out the noodle stand. So 20 people all wear black t-shirts just waiting on the side of the street, and immediately, we don't even have a big camera because I know we had to use a very small one to kind of be invisible. So immediately people see that 20 people waiting with the black t-shirt. Everybody came over, like, what are you doing? What are you shooting? Who are the stars? Who are we going to see today? And then a lot of people just start shooting with us, shooting at the stand. So on the second day, I think, well, we cannot do this. We had to even lower the people down to like 5 people. So this on the second day, we have 5 to 6 people on set. And I asked people, nobody wear black shirt, like nobody wear black. Everybody had to wear like, however you would go to night market, we had to hide everybody, hide the crew, hide the camera. So that's how we able to shoot the film with 5 to 6 crew and with our actors. So we own the stand, we actually rent the noodle stand from the real owner. So it took me 2 months to convince this owner to let us shoot there. So because the business hours 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. every day, and I thought it was perfect because we only shoot after dark, so 7 p.m. to like midnight. So I, at the owner said, no, I don't want to do anything with you. I just want to do my business. I want to make money and do my business. So I was there every day from morning. I just sit right next to him, and I was talking to him. I want to be friends with him, like listen to his stories. So a lot of some stories actually came from the conversation I had with him. Like Johnny was saying, oh, my money mature, I have money you can borrow. So that's actually from the real noodle stand owner.
Why was that the noodle stand? Like, why was it the location? Was it the specific place within the night market that you wanted to use? Like, why were you so focused on that noodle stand in particular?
Because that's noodle stand is on the side. Yeah. It's in the middle of it's like a middle of the night market, but it's on the side street. So we can, you see like the noodle stand is like this. Yeah. But the main street is actually on the other side. So I thought that's perfect. You don't have to worry about like so many people walking by, so we can like own that little corner, be like hidden, and still you see people walking around, but not that it's not like a main point.
Yeah. Anyone else? I see right there. Yeah.
What's it like to have and be a co-writer and especially an editor who doesn't speak or read Chinese?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know Mandarin. But, we made Takeout together, which is around 70% Mandarin. And I think that's where I kind of learned how to do this. Basically, it's working with somebody who knows the language. But if I'm the writer, I obviously know what's going on. And what we do is that we subtitle all of the dailies. Every take gets subtitled. So when I'm jumping into the edit, it's fully ready to go. And I am basically judging on energy and inflection and what I think is the right performance. And of course, ultimately, Shih-Ching is the one who signs off on it and tells me if I made the right choice. And I've had to do this a lot, not just this film. I've done it in Russian and Armenian with, Nora and the other films. And in that case, it was like usually the Russian or Armenian speakers sitting next to me, helping me through. So that's how it's done.
I saw glasses right there. Oh, we have a mic.
Oh, yes. Did you work with both professional actors and, as you said, people that you have discovered? But can you talk a bit about how you work with the non-actors and actors?
Well, the mother who played the mother of played by Janelle Tsai, and she's a professional actor in Taiwan. Also Johnny, he's also very famous. He's a comedian, also a TV host in Taiwan. So working with them, it's really they know because they read script. They know everything, how to read the script, how to prepare for the role. So for them, it's really easy. I give them the script, and they immediately know what to do. Especially Johnny. I actually. Particularly, we didn't write anything for him for the night market. I said, well, you have to come up with everything because I know that's your specialty. So he is great. He came out with all the talking, how to sell things, all the funny jokes. He actually came out with it. And for the first time actor, Shih-Ching, she's really smart, very talented. When I found her on Instagram, I think she told me she just finished one acting class at a time, and then she really wants to try. So when I contacted her, she thought the universe heard her request. She got a role. So working with her, I kind of had to. I told her like you can put some of yourself in there because that you can't really as an actor that I think you always have the role. You always have some of them yourself into the role. So you can put your own life experience. I think particularly I told her like if you have any question about the emotion or relationship, we can always sit down and discuss. And especially for this because the family dynamic is so like tense. So I intentionally didn't do any rehearsal with them, and I wanted to just prepare. And then when they come to set, everybody just kind of collaborate together, come out the first time with a very little take, and then Sean was not very happy.
No, I mean, she was, thank God, like every take was a good take. It was just levels of good takes or great takes. But yeah, Shih-Ching only does like three takes. I'm like 8 or 9. And so as an editor, I was like, oh, am I not getting another one? Okay. But getting back to the non-professionals, like it all depends actually, because a first timer or non-professional, everyone's different. So sometimes there's like born actors like Xian Ma, who from editing, I would never be able to tell that she was a first timer. She had all the signs of a very experienced professional actor. I always say that like an experienced actor will be looking out for the director and the editor by giving slight variations in the performance with each take, and that's what Xian Ma did. So yeah, and it all depends. I mean, sometimes you're manipulating performance with editing, but I didn't have to with this film. Shih-Ching had an incredible ensemble, cast that just rocked it.
I see right over there, Pat. Yeah. Oh, great.
Congratulations, this was fantastic. I was very struck by the intimate moments where the characters are alone in these rooms, but what really impressed me was when you were able to find the intimacy in those moments in the night market. I'm just curious how you went about like finding those specific moments when there was so much going on around you.
In a night market. Which particular
like just with balancing like working with like a balancing like working with like the first time actors versus the professionals, that every moment felt so focused. Did you pre-plan these storyboards, or did you come into it and just kind of go with the flow?
No, we didn't have any storyboard, but I did have a very intensive meeting with our cinematographer. We sat down for like probably 3-4 days, and we break down every scene and discuss like, okay, so this scene is about this girl, about a little girl, so we have to, like everything had to be from her angle. So just like that, every scene we like break down, we very clearly have the notes on every scene. So so when we get to set, so the cinematographer immediately knows. And we didn't do rehearsals. So the cinematographer is great. His name is Chen, and he is really good. He will tell the actor, he said, don't worry about me. You just do your thing, and I will follow you. So that's basically how he works. So we, I think just like very very naturally the actors how they work, how they interact. We just kind of catch everything on set.
Well, unfortunately, we have to wrap up. I'm so sorry, but thank you so much, Sean. Thank you so much.